Whoops, I hit the outro screen or whatever the hell, the scene. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkie Live. How we doing out there today? What is going on? Good to see you. Hit that like, thumbs up. Do all the things. Let's go ahead and hit that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, we got members. Do a members only stream every Wednesday, which is good. You got the Patreon down there if you want to, support the pirate ship. I posted my Sunday evening hangover podcast that I do basically every other Sunday. I try to do it, but anyways, guys, we got plenty to talk about. We got DCU news. We got Avengers, X-Men, rumors and everything. We got box office. More bad box office out there. And then we're going to be talking about, of course, Paramount and Warner Brothers. So let's get it on. All right, how we doing out there? We got Monique right here going to make us hungry right now. Marvelous Monday to you. It's skillet ham and potatoes in mi casa. I love it. That sounds good. Ham. I haven't had ham in forever. Ham and potatoes on a skillet. Sign me up. We got Clone Avenger right here rewatched. Green Lantern, I still feel the same. I did when I left the theater. Wasted potential, not terrible, not great, just very mid. Here's hoping Lanterns delivers something great. And of course, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I kind of went off on a little rant at the beginning of the Vodka stream when it came to that certain rumored plot thing that's happening out there. Mr. Hardboiled Eric, what's happening? My first pick for the DCU. Pam Isley would be Karen Gillian, yeah? Not bad, myself. Or is it ScarJo allegedly for... Yeah, it's ScarJo for the Matt Reeves universe. ScarJo for the Matt Reeves universe. So we'll talk about that. That's the latest rumor thing right here. It's having Devon Wooter right here. We got... Hey, Dave, I'm not going to lie. I was very emotional when I heard that. Yes, Sam Neill passed away. Yeah, we lost a good one today, folks. I'm not sure, I'm not there, but I got a little emotional in his passing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, rest in peace, Alan Grant. What's going on, Ghoul? You're about to watch Inception, but you'll watch the show later. No, I refuse. You better watch it now. You got to watch it live. You can hold up with Inception. Jeez. Just kidding. All good, man. All good. All freaking good. So we got, let's see who else we got. We got Taladia, what's happening? We got Mr. Fear Jason. We got DigiGamer, what's going on? And we got, hey, Meredith. Wow. Meredith, how you doing? Good to see you. This is somebody I've worked with in a couple of places in my real reality work. So good to see you, Meredith. Hope everything's doing good. Hope Steve's good. Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Oh, yeah, we'll be talking about that, too. That's the rumored casting. And then there's also rumored casting for Professor X as well. But good to see you guys. Good to see you, Meredith. Great to see you. But yes, the great Sam Neill died. Let's face it. When you're a 90s kid like me, you got introduced to him. I mean, he's always been in movies. He's been in movies forever. But, Dr. Grant. Jurassic Park. That was where, some of us got introduced. And, obviously he was like, I remember he was in one of the Omen sequels. He was in that Possession movie, which is very disturbing. He played a good, villain, but he was a man of many roles. He was a good character actor, good lead actor. But, Dr. Grant was where a lot of us were like, oh, yeah, where he played he was the lead and he was the dad of that movie. But yeah, he died at the age of 76. Gone too soon. I think he still had some more years in him. It seemed like things were okay, but man, that sucks. Yeah, waking up to that. Sucked to hear that. Especially if you watched his social media. He had really because he had a farm. I'm not sure where the farm was, but he had a farm, I think probably back at home. New Zealand or Australia, I can't remember. But he had a farm and he used to post videos. I remember he'd post random videos and they were great. So yeah, cheers to Sam Neill. Rest in peace. Raise your glasses if you have them. I swear that's not vodka. That's water. Actually, it's tequila. No, but rest in peace, Sam Neill. Definitely a legend. Lived a long, full life, but I think he still had some years. So I'm kind of wondering, when more comes about of what he passed away from. So anyways, guys, yeah. So we got that. That was a bummer to hear. And hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I saw Toy Story 5 over the weekend. I said I was going to. Friend of mine wanted to take her daughter who just turned 4. She was like, I think she's ready to go to the movies. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And then my other friend came down and brought her 4-year-old son. And it was the second time going to the movies. And so you never know how is everything going to be when it comes to the movies. We definitely didn't want to go opening weekend. I talked about that because she wanted to go opening weekend. And I was like, probably not a good idea for your daughter's first movie theater experience to be on an opening weekend for a big movie. So, we waited, 2 weeks? And it was perfectly fine. Like when I bought the tickets, it was a smaller theater. We got like an entire front row of the back and everything was good. And the kids were fine. There was like one moment where she was like, I want to go home a couple of times, but then she just settled in, enjoyed the movie. And as for my friend's son, whose name is Bear, by the way, which is kind of funny with, the character in Obsession, his name is Bear. Just perfect. He was just snacking on popcorn. Not a peep out of him. So good times at the movies. But I enjoyed Toy Story 5. Yes, a step up from Toy Story 4. And yeah, it was, it wasn't the best one. I would say it's the original trilogy. Those ones are the best ones. But Toy Story 5, not bad. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It had a cool little, had a message, of course, when it comes to devices and screens and everything, naturally. So I highly recommend it. If you like Toy Story, watch Toy Story. I don't know if it's going to get to 2 billion now. I don't think it's going to get to 2 billion. I don't know if any movie will ever get to 2 billion again, but you never know. But anyways, guys, let's get to the tweets right here. Let's get to the tweets. Good to see you, Phil. I see you out there. And everything. So let's get to the tweets. And yeah, guys, we got our first teaser last week when it came to Godzilla Minus Zero. Did you guys check this out? Hopefully you did, because it looks killer. Godzilla.
核攻撃にも耐えるそうですな。それは人間のやっていいことの範疇を超えてる。あんた自分一体何してるか分かってんのかよ。
Our crime and punishment returning to zero is not an option. I like it. Ooh, yes. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. November 6th. Be there. I wonder, I got an invite to go to the premiere, the last one. Godzilla Minus One. I got an invite to the premiere. It's a small premiere. I wonder if I can get one of those again. That was pretty cool. It's right up in the front row, Q&A and everything. So if you guys ever want to see a visual representation to what I look like if I see a big ass spider in my house, you want to see what that looks like? Somebody made concept art of a certain comic book movie that's coming out that totally represents what I look like when I see a spider. And that is that right there. Jeez, yeah. Some concept art. I'm not sure who drew it, but some concept art was flowing out there, and it shows Hulk. But yeah, that's what I look like if I see a giant spider. I'm like, ah! Anyways, it's pretty cool. And mind you, okay, and then another thing too, all right? And I said this, I think I said this probably on the Vox stream or something like that. I'm like, can we cool it? Can we cool it with the clips for the Spider-Man Brand New Day clips? Because it seemed like over the weekend, every time I refreshed my Twitter page, I would see like a 2-second GIF of the fight between Spider-Man and Hulk, or the fight between him and Scorpion. And I'm like, I don't need to see an entire fight sequence from Spider-Man Brand New Day in 2-second increments, okay? Okay, can we relax on that a little bit? Jeez, I tell ya. David Rose, you saw The Furious. What do you think? I didn't see it. Sadly, the screenings around me were all at night. So I didn't catch The Furious, but I do want to catch it. I heard it's amazing. If you want it done right, don't let Warner Brothers do it. And this is stupid. This is stupid right here because, this is not even new. This is old. This is old right here, but I'm just like kind of going like, how is it that someone like Rich Eisen is a kind of like, he's got the Rich Eisen show. He does commentary, sports mainly and everything. But it's just, I saw this on my For You page, and it's an old interview with Henry Cavill and him asking Cavill questions about his workout regimen and what he did to prepare to be Superman. And one of the things that I'm just going like, Rich Eisen, are you stupid? Did you actually think that this was true? And this is what he asked him.
You achieved 3% body fat for your role.
What? Did you see Cavill's face? Cavill's face. 3% body fat? Did he just fucking say that?
As Superman. Is that true or false?
True or false? I'm like, what are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? 3% body fat. That's insane.
Like a body fat reading, but I don't think it was as low as 3%.
No.
That's super low.
So that's false.
That's false.
I couldn't even imagine what 3% would.
Okay.
That's like bodybuilders. That's like for one performance bodybuilders. You can't hold that.
No.
Maybe you can, but I probably could.
But is it true you consume 5,000 calories a day for that role?
Yes.
Try and bulk
when
up?
I was building, 5,000 calories.
What in the hell were you eating at 5,000 calories a day?
A lot. I can't really remember. That was many, many years ago now. That was a Man of Steel, but a lot of it in the post-workout shake. You put coconut milk in there, and it makes everything. You can fit a day's worth of calories into one shake.
Oh, so you're not like rolling through the In-N-Out burger or anything like that?
No, unfortunately. I mean, there is a methodology which does that, but you're so fat afterwards that it kind of ruins everything.
You achieved.
I just was like, I was just like, wait, did you just ask like 3%? Or was that just something? I don't know. It's like, that would be insane. No one, you're not even Hugh Jackman got the 3% body fat in Deadpool Wolverine. I just was like, what? What are we doing here? And speaking of what are we doing here? Hey, why not? Why not? Why not Warner Brothers and Russo brothers? A reboot of the 1993 movie Free Willy is in the works at Warner Brothers. The Russo brothers AGBO will produce the project. Mary Margaret Kunze and Jade Haley Bartlett will write the screenplay. Yay! There we go. For all you out there that were begging Hollywood to remake, not reboot, it's going to be a remake. Unless it's some kind of fucking sequel. I don't know. Remake Free Willy. Well, you got your wish. You got your wish right now. Didn't they make a Free Willy too? They did, right? Because the first one was really successful. I remember seeing the first one as a kid. I was visiting California before we moved to California. And I was visiting, and I remember me and my mom and my aunt and my cousin, we went to go see Free Willy. But yeah. Just crazy. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. And Dune Part 3, obviously the trailer came out last week. We discussed it and everything. They made 3. I remember there was a second one with the same kid. But what was the third? Was the third one also have the kid in it too? There was a whole trilogy? Jesus Christ. Anyways, speaking of the third movie in a franchise, Dune Part 3. Now, apparently, like when it comes to the description of the opening not fight scene, but war sequence. Just into my veins, into my goddamn veins. The opening sequence of Dune Part 3 is being described as Saving Private Ryan in space, a brutal fight on a stormy planet where the Freemen encounter rain for the first time, featuring almost no dialogue. There you go. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Dune Part 3, hell yeah. DCU Batman Watch. I know I say that a lot now because we're all anxiously awaiting who's going to be donning the cowl in James Gunn's DCU if James Gunn is still there after 2027. But hey, doesn't mean that the actors that get cast have to leave too and the DCU needs to be dismantled. No, it just could mean like, hey, get Batman in your DCU. We got our buddy John Regan right here. Of course, he's a big fan of Brandon Sklenar. I always show his art right here. This is what his latest concept when it comes to a Batman Sklenar DCU Batman bat suit. Not too shabby, a little bit more. I like the 3D-ness of it. Kind of has a little bit of vibe of Batfleck's Justice League, standard Justice League suit. Kind of has that vibe to it, but I love the crest, how it sticks out like that. The cowl looks good. Obviously, he's going with the black and gray concept. Dig it. And then, of course, he had some variants right here. So this one brings that navy blue, which I kind of really hope they do. I hope they actually have a little blue in that. So, and yes, he has the chones. He definitely has the chones, which they don't look bad right here, but hey. And then you got the silver around the bat right there. Not too shabby. And then we got the blue with the silver around the bat. So not too shabby right here. Yeah. Good for a brawler Batman. Good for a brawler Batman. He's got the white eyes to it too, which I'm kind of wondering if Jimmy Guns, would he actually go for that? Would he try to do that? Would he try to be like, yeah, let's do the white eyes? And then what else we got? All right. Oh yeah, anybody who hasn't seen Obsession, who has Peacock streaming service in 4 days. So at the end of the week, on July 17th, you'll be able to watch Obsession on Peacock. So that's cool. And then, yes. Let's see. So Spaceballs 2, did you guys... Oh, no, well, yeah, there's that. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a little bit because I got the poster that's coming up. Let's see if I can find the poster. I'm just kind of going through everything. So like over the weekend, one of the things I did on Saturday, I had a pretty productive Saturday, but as I was being productive, I did a rewatch of all the Evil Dead movies. So Evil Dead to all the way to Evil Dead Rise. And yeah, enjoyed myself. They're all available on streaming. HBO Max has all the Evil Dead movies. So if you want to do that, and it's great because after seeing Evil Dead burn, I would say the weakest entry of the Evil Dead franchise, in my opinion. You guys know the Evil Dead franchise. I love it. The first Evil Dead movie is probably, well, it's one of my favorite all-time horror movies. And I always would say that it pretty much is my favorite horror movie of all time. But when it comes to the entire franchise, obviously Sam Raimi does some things where when it comes to Evil Dead 2, he kind of rehashes the story, makes it a little bit more slapsticky. And then, of course, when it comes to Army of Darkness, it gets even more slapsticky, and he rehashes the story again. And I would say Army of Darkness is the weakest one of the bunch. It's got the best one-liners. It's goofy. I love Bruce Campbell. But if you want to just talk about just like the lore of Evil Dead and the Deadites and the Book of the Dead and the Gore Fest and everything, that one is probably the weakest one. But it's still enjoyable. It's still an enjoyable entry to the. And what's sad is, for anybody who doesn't know this, any Evil Dead fans that might not even know this, Sam Raimi wanted to call the third Evil Dead because obviously it takes place in the past. Ash gets sent back to the past, to the medieval era. So he wanted to call it The Medieval Dead. But the studio, that's right, guys, stupid motherfuckers up in their towers, sipping their scotch in their big offices, were like, nope, we don't want it to be called anything called Evil Dead because Evil Dead 2 was not a success at the box office, but we're going to allow you to do this movie because it's going to be something different, which it was. And Sam Raimi wanted to call it The Medieval Dead, which I thought perfect because I think Army of Darkness, it's fine, but I think The Medieval Dead would have been a better title right there. So yeah, anyways, sorry, rant over when it comes to that, but yeah, rewatching all that, it was great. It was fun. Dear Santa, or anybody who wants to like go in on this with me, but hey, check this out. We got somebody unboxing a 1:2 scale statue from Prime 1 Studio of, you've guessed it, Michael Keaton's 1989 Batman. And you guys know, I love that fucking crest. I love that crest, but check this motherfucker out. Beast. Look at that beast. Look at that beast. That thing's standing tall, man. Looks like he's got a Mr. Freeze back here. That's pretty cool. Yep. Who wants to buy me that or go in on it? We could share it. I'll have it for 6 months. You have it for 6 months. We could do something like that. A little trade-off. If anybody wants to do that, let me know. Let me know. All right. See, I thought this was cool right here because, you know, obviously when you start talking about something, and obviously Saturday I was tweeting about that I was watching the Evil Dead movies. I was having an Evil Dead binge watch, and then of course naturally the algorithm's going to start feeding you Evil Dead things because that's what algorithms do. Somebody said that they were having a marathon also of Evil Dead, and one of their friends came over and baked a little cake for them for the party, and that's this friend. Yeah, keep this friend. Look at that. I mean, I'm guessing that almost looks like it's like brownies, maybe with some frosting on it, or it's just a cake. I don't know, but kudos to the friend that made the cake look like the Book of the Dead. I almost wouldn't want to eat it. I'd almost just want to display that. So freaking cool. People are unique. I just love that. I just love that. Good stuff. And guess what, guys? Taco Bell finally figured it out. That's right. Taco Bell figured it out. It took decades, but they finally figured it out. What did they figure out? Well, this is what they figured out right here. Just in, Taco Bell removes some ingredients from menu as a parasite linked to explosive diarrhea spreads rapidly through the U.S. Yeah, so they figured it out. So what, you're just going to have empty tortillas? Is that what's happening, Taco Bell? Because, yeah, we all know that you go to Taco Bell, guess what? The next day or later that day, depending, something's going to happen to you that's going to be explosive. But, of course, that's a running joke because, yes, there is some kind of parasite that's running through the country that, yes, is happening, and it's all crazy because why not? Why not? Why not? Let's have a parasite that's going to be in all the food. And I guess like they're saying, don't get the bagged salads. Basically, everything that's super healthy for you, don't eat it. No, they're saying like, don't get the bagged salad. Be careful with produce because it could get on the produce. They say like raspberries and blackberries, those, because those, the parasites can get in there. Or, at least if you're going to get produce, wash your produce as best as you can. You're saying like cook your meat more. I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's like, really? We're really going to have this? But, of course, the running joke with that which is the fact that it's just kind of funny that Taco Bell was like, hey, we're going to remove ingredients that could cause explosive diarrhea. And everybody was like, really? It's like, for going to Taco Bell, I expect to get explosive diarrhea. I can't even remember the last time I went to Taco Bell. I think it's been like 2 years. I think it's been like 2 years since I've been to Taco Bell. And if I remember the last time I went, yeah. Anyways, okay. I don't even remember what I got, but anyways. Just make your food at home, folks. Make your food at home. Cook it. Make sure it's good. Wash your produce. We'll get through it, all right? If we got through COVID, we can get through explosive diarrhea bug. But this is America. We always have explosive. Anyways, you guys want to see a video of the first World's Finest? I think I've seen something like this before, but this one was really, really well done. I have no idea who did this. I don't know if they used AI, but I just saw it on my feed and somebody posted it. And I know that account didn't actually make the video. So if anybody knows who made this video, I'm like, all right, cool. They did a good job if they, we're actually using, maybe they use a little AI, I don't know, but this is the first World's Finest, and that is Keaton and Reeve. Check this out.
Well. Oh, sorry, Bruce Wayne.
Oh, hi. Okay, nice to meet you.
Oh, I read your work. I like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you very much, Miss Wayne.
Anyway, you're going to stay in Gotham for a while?
Well, I'm actually here to do a report on the Batman.
Oh, right. Batman.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have plans this evening?
What do you want?
Well, you see, I sort of have a problem.
There you go. Pretty awesome, right? Yes. I don't know who made that. Like I said, the person who posted, the account who posted, I know they didn't make it. So yeah, if anybody wants to, say down below or whatever the hell, tell me who made that, because that was pretty good. That was pretty good, using different things and cutting it out, putting the backgrounds, making it look as seamless as possible. I mean, Christopher Reeve was Superman when Michael Keaton's Batman was coming about. He was still technically, I don't know if there was, I can't remember when the last when did Quest for Peace come out? Did that come out after? I'm gonna have to look that up. Let's see. When did Quest for Peace? I can't type. 1987. So Quest for Peace came out 2 years before Batman 89. Okay, so yeah, technically it could have worked. They could have eventually did a crossover for something, but how did they get Christopher Reeve to say the Batman? No, that was actually Michael Keaton that said the Batman, because he does say the Batman in Batman. He's the Batman. So I don't know, or did I miss that he said the Batman? If they did that, they probably used some kind of thing for AI. I don't know, but don't get too crazy. I know people freak out when you use those two letters, but it's fine. It's fine. We got an exclusive, folks. That's right, because you guys have all seen the Avengers Doomsday concept art that has all the characters involved. And what did Steve Rogers look like? Well, Steve Rogers is wearing, black shirt, black jeans, got his hair nice. He looks like, hey, I'm just a dad on the weekends. This is what I wear, and I'm gonna go ahead and save the world. And well, I got an exclusive for you guys, because if you guys saw what Steve Rogers looks like in Avengers Doomsday, just wait till you see what he looks like in Secret Wars. That's what he's gonna look like. That's right. Yeah, Steve Rogers. Woo! Yeah. That's what he's gonna look like in Secret Wars. He's going from black t-shirt guy to white t-shirt guy. Zing. Oh. 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 Yeah, so there you go. A joke, of course. Obviously, they was doing promo for Doomsday. Chris Hemsworth and Robert Downey Jr. are right there, but everybody, we got to make the joke, right? Got to make the joke. All right, so Fear Jason, Free Boredom YouTube channel. Free Boredom YouTube channel. That's the ones that did thank you, Fear Jason. That's the ones that did that World's Finest little collaboration. Good job. If I cut that out into a clip or something like that, I'll make sure to credit, because I like to credit the work of people. Good job. Very good job when it comes to that. Steve Rogers rocking up as Chris. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, jeez. Gotta love it. And then, yes, guys, we got another trailer today of a movie that everybody's looking forward to, it seems. And I love it. I love it when original movies with an actual movie star that could still, even though we're in 2026, yeah, Mission Impossible, people kind of went, all right, I think we're done with Mission Impossible, Tommy. But you got this new movie coming out called Digger, which, of course, he's promoting. And first off here, let me show you what was happening, because they're already starting the marketing. So, the whole big thing about this is the shovel. So Tom Cruise posted this on TikTok.
Digger, October.
Oh, that's on the Warner Brothers lot. I just realized that. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, fuck. Of course, it's Warner Brothers, dummy. So he's promoting that, and then we got the first poster. We got the first poster right here that says "Dig or Die." So Dig with 2 G's, which is the last name of this character right there. Gotta love that. And then we got the freaking trailer, guys. We got the trailer, which this movie looks insane. I don't know if you guys saw this trailer, but this trailer looks absolutely insane. It looks beautifully shot. There's Tom Cruise with a butt crack out and his gut.
Cat. Just take a little taste for that.
And this is, this poor little cat, which obviously is not a real cat.
That's Dave.
But this
Ashes in the box.
This thing looks insane. We're not gonna watch the entire thing, but it looks insane.
Now, this desk in front of him.
And I think Cruz going for that Oscar.
What do you want me to shut down a $1 billion platform over something that's 10 times the size of my dick?
I don't believe you understand what's happening, sir.
What did you just say?
Sorry, sir.
Well, I know perfectly well what's going on here, because I'm paying for the whole thing. I'm paying for your fucking 90% Hungarian goose down winter jacket. I'm paying yourself. You want to shut her down? Well, say it! Mr. President.
And you got John Goodman as the president? Come on.
What's our worst case scenario?
$18 trillion, sir.
Is that all the bad fucking news?
There's the nuclear waste, too.
Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of movie. This movie just looks absolutely batshit crazy.
Is he okay? Mr. President. Mr. President?
Fuck it, Godsburg, let's dance!
Puppy-shaped story. They already know the story. They know the facts. Story.
So I'm guessing that this takes place over like a decade or something. I don't know.
You hit him with the truth. You know, the hard truth. Just bang, bang, bang. Woo! Woo!
Oh my God! What the hell with this cat? Alejandro Iñárritu. I don't know. I'm butchering his name, but you know who that is. Yeah, that looks insane. Looks good. Looks great. I can't wait. I'm seeing it. That's an anticipated movie of this year. I'm like, good. I'm glad that Tom Cruise is getting back into playing some crazy character, not just relying on the action stuff. He's getting up there. Man. Spaceballs, the new one. That's right. Spaceballs 2 is going to be at Comic-Con. So I would probably expect that if Spaceballs is going to be at Comic-Con, we're going to finally get that trailer that was shown at CinemaCon. Probably a better one. They probably have a better one ready to go, but they did release a poster today. Oh, all right. I mean, if you're a Spaceballs fan, you know the gag. We ain't found shit. Spaceballs, a new one, coming soon. Combing the desert. Gotta love that. Oops, hit the wrong thing. One of the best lines in the movie. We ain't found shit. But, and then another thing, when it came to, obviously, the great Sam Neill, who passed away. A lot of people that he worked with. Steven Spielberg, he posted like a big thing talking about Sam was exceptionally collaborative. It was a stretch for him to play a character who acted as though children were messy and smelly, because that was opposite of the loving father he was to his children. I adored making all the Jurassic movies with him, along with Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum. We will always have our Jurassic family, and Sam will never be forgotten by us, or his many millions of fans around the world. So yeah, and Laura Dern also talked about him. A lot of people came out and talked about Sam Neill. So yeah, sad, but what can he do? I just wonder what took him out. I don't know if he was like, I didn't hear anything about him being like sick or in the hospital or anything like that, but life, man, life. Now, yeah, this is happening, apparently. Paramount's like, fuck it, we'll try it again, because they tried it in the early 2010s, late 2000s. But here we go again, folks. New Nightmare on Elm Street movie is in the works from Paramount. Oh, boy. Yeah, been kind of interesting today. Will you get that? The Hollywood Reporter posts that exclusive. And then what do we get from Peacock? Well, we get the teaser for Friday the 13th prequel series called Crystal Lake. That's right. Did you guys see this? From A24.
It's like someone put a curse on this town.
Linda Florentini, whatever her name is.
That kid drowned last summer. There's something in these
She
woods,
plays Jason's
and
mom.
All it knows how to do is kill.
Whoa, buddy. That looks pretty good. So, yeah, today they released that teaser, and Paramount's like, hey, we got a Freddy movie. We're going to do a Freddy movie again. We got a Freddy movie. Yeah, so, I don't know. I don't know if that was coordinated, or they were like, oh, they're going to drop that today. Well, we'll drop this today. And I was like, all right, well, these horror fans of, like, those franchises, hey, they're eating pretty well right now, so that's good. Sam was cancer-free. Oh, man. See, I mean, I wonder what, did he have, he was cancer-free, did he have cancer and he beat cancer and maybe it came back? I don't know. I wasn't too sure about his health thing. I should have looked up more on what was going on, but that just sucks, man. That just freaking sucks. F cancer, that's for damn sure, F cancer, so they have said, let's see. Studied have said cancer can, oh yeah, of course cancer can come back. That's the bad part. You get it once, man, you're susceptible. It's like getting pneumonia. You're like susceptible to like getting it back and everything. Next thing they'll do is a Nightmare on Elm Street prequel about the original case that originally brought Freddy. Well, they kind of showed that in the new one, in the remake. They showed Freddy getting, they showed like the townspeople torching his shack, you know, and doing all that. So I don't know. Pretty crazy, but all right. Time to get some DC news, huh? We'll get to some DCU news. First off, everybody in the cast of Superman has a birthday in July, apparently. I mean, Rachel Brosnahan, what's her name? Isabella Merced, David Cornsweet, a lot of them. Kat, whoever played Kat Grant, I forgot who her name is. She also has a birthday. There's like 4 cast members that have birthdays in July. It's crazy. So there was all that. But I don't know if this is true, guys. Not sure if this is true. Nothing's been verified. And this was what, 5 days ago that this got talked about? I don't know if it's true, but here we go. The first look at Man of Tomorrow debuted at Cine Europe. No details on the images there, right there. So I'm kind of wondering if did that really happen? I don't know if this really happened. Not too sure. Ugh. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. If they showed just like behind the scenes, did they actually have something prepared? I don't know. It's just going to get into my little spiel that I was going to talk about when it comes to the DCU and their representation at Comic-Con. Clone Avenger, my mom has cancer and it's been aggressive. I know you said that you were in the hospital with her, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. That sucks, man. F cancer. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully she could pull through. And of course, we already talked about the Grodd stuff and that stuff. I'm hoping to get one of these because Comic-Con, they're gonna have lanterns, of course, merch, and I wouldn't mind getting like the lantern right there, little chain, but the ring would be cool to get too. Like that. I think Hal Jordan's ring looks pretty sweet. And we'll talk more about that. And then, of course, the headquarters, which apparently got sold out. People who bought tickets to this, they got sold out. But yes, lanterns, when you talk about lanterns at Comic-Con, HBO Max basically is doing a thing where you can actually go to the Lanterns training headquarters. So you could do that. Pretty cool. I mean, it's something, guys. It's something when it comes to the representation, when it comes to that. Lanterns coming to Hall H. Fans will get a first look at the series on July 24th with Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre. So we got this little description right here. HBO Max is launching Lanterns Training Headquarters fan experience running from the 23rd to the 25th, inspired by the show's Rushville, Nebraska setting. Fans will get a briefing from the Guardians and face interactive challenges, target practice, trust tests, maze navigation, and escape from scenarios set in in-world locations like the sheriff's office and dive bar. Trainees leave with a custom Green Lantern ring, so yeah, probably not going to get one of those then, plus a Snapchat-powered mirror that simulates using one. simulates losing one. So then you can actually go, woo, and it'll probably light up and everything. Exclusive! Lanterns merch will also be available. So there you go. We'll see what happens. I know I got some friends that are going to be there, and I'm like, hey, if you can snatch me one of those rings, that'd be pretty sweet. Don't mind that. Don't even want to look at that. Okay. Sorry, my little ESPN app. I should have turned that down. This thing is so loud. That is like the loudest notification. Seriously. Seriously, the loudest notification. Kyle Chandler said that, you know, when he got the gig as Hal Jordan at 60 years old, this was his quote right here. He said, the old man upstairs said, hey, I'm going to give you a gift. He threw me a bone and I chewed that thing all the way through. Before I went out, I decided I'm going to have fun. Damn the torpedoes. Kyle Chandler featured in Men's Journal. Men's Journal right there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into big time detail on what was revealed on Friday. If you guys want to go see my little rant more about that, it is, yes, there was a plot leak that apparently was leaked because we just can't have nice things. We can't have leaks. There's always going to be something. People are going to be digging. There's going to be shitty people that are going to leak it, and then there are going to be shitty people that are going to try to monetize it. And then you're going to have the people that want this whole universe and everything to crash and burn are going to use that as, oh my God, they don't know what they're doing. There's this, that, and this. Doom and gloom all over the place. And we all know what it was. We all know what it was. That came out, the plot leak and everything. And that's, you know, and if you don't want to hear what it is, I would say cover your ears for the next 5 seconds. Yes, first episode, Hal Jordan. Yeah. But then I'm sitting there going like, okay, that doesn't mean shit, first off. And yes, what's happening? If you talk about it, you put it in your, if you're going to talk about it in a video, you got to talk about it in a stream. Don't put the spoiler in your video or stream. I know there's somebody who was like warning me like, oh man, I talked about it on my stream. You better be careful. I was like, yeah, I didn't put the spoiler in my thumbnail or stream. I'm like, use this. But he hates pretty much everything that's coming out of the DCU. So of course he was gonna moan and groan about it. And I'm just kind of going like, do you guys not watch shows? You not like say that that's an actual thing. And then of course the fact that Warner Brothers and the company that they use to try to fight like things getting out, yes, they are dive bombing posts. They are dive bombing like posts like from Cosmic Book News, which, hey, fuck those guys. Fuck Matt McGrone. That guy is one of the worst out there. He's a sleazeball. He's a weasel. And it's sad that the Snyder fandom, the diehards at least, have adopted him as like, oh yeah, this guy knows. He knows everything. Just like he knows about Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, and the Saudis. They're going to restore the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that whole thing when he's literally just using you guys to get clicks by saying what you want to hear. And he keeps on going too. And yeah, he got his post like taken down, and I'm like, oh yeah, seems like they're dive bombing it because it might be true. Who knows? But that doesn't. People are making it seem like, oh yeah, he's just in the first episode and that's it. I'm like, no, are you dumb? There's 2 timelines. There's gonna be something, and then it's a superhero thing. You never know. He's probably not. For all we know, but he's gonna be Kyle Chandler. Trust me, is gonna be in through the whole series. Okay. Just relax. That's all I'm saying. Just relax. I get tired of all that. And it sucks. Again, it sucks because it's like we just can't have nice things, especially when it comes to the DCU. It just seems like we just can't have nice things. But yes, I'm looking forward to at least, we'll probably get a new trailer. Maybe we'll get some more Green Lantern action in the suits. Maybe we'll see Jon Stewart's suit. I don't know. But we'll probably get another trailer. They'll be at the panel. They'll be answering questions. But yeah, so. But yeah, the whole thing was it just frustrated me. It absolutely frustrated me. But what could you do? Anyways. What else we got? There's that. Scott Snyder, he says that the Absolute Batman animated series will expand on the comic without losing its core. He said, we want it to be as though the comic is just almost a bigger, better, more robust version of the comic on screen. So there you go. And speaking of Green Lantern, I think I might have to get this lighter. Can you imagine handing this lighter? Like, hey, you got a light? I mean, I know that doesn't really happen nowadays because everybody vapes, but I'm just saying, like, if there's ever a moment we're outside like a bar or a restaurant or something like that, and someone says, hey, you got a light? Imagine handing them this special Green Lantern lighter from a certain Green Lantern. There you go. Just a middle finger just comes out. All right. Yeah, Jimmy Guns posted that. Because of course he did. Batman, Cape Crusader. This is cool. Joker. And then, of course, the other little rogues that are going to be in here. So, yeah, new Cape Crusader Season 2. This is artist Mitch Gerads. Of course, featuring Joker, Riddler, Scarecrow, Roxy Rocket, and Harley Quinn. That's who that is. Roxy Rocket. That's right. There it is right there with Animation Magazine. So that's pretty sweet. Like that. Can't wait for that. That's going to be at Comic-Con. Representation at Comic-Con. And then finally, like when it comes to, before we start talking about more like Comic-Con things, I'm going to talk about this too, because Booster Gold is still apparently happening. Booster Gold update. David Jenkins is now listed as showrunner and EP on the series via WGA directory. The credit suggests DC Studios has officially picked up Jenkins' pilot script for the series. So we might get some Booster Gold news at Comic-Con. Because this is what I wanted to kind of talk about. We talked about this. We had a discussion about this on the Vox stream. We had a good discussion. Because let's face it, I mean, especially somebody like me who's been optimistic and trying to give James Gunn and DC Studios the benefit of the doubt, just get a little worried. We just get a little worried now. Yes, I'm not all doom and gloom about Supergirl bombing, and yes, it bombed pretty hard where it's going to be one of the worst DC film bombs, like worse than Catwoman. It's not doing well at all. I mean, it's just, people are just like, have moved on from Supergirl. Hopefully it finds another life on streaming, digital. Hopefully it can, because it's not that bad of a movie. It's not worse than Catwoman, for fuck's sake. And anybody who says that, I know they're full of shit. And they're just being, full of shit, because everybody online is full of shit. We're all full of shit, right? Anyways. But one of the conversations we were having, it was just like, all right, so you got Comic-Con, you got a new universe. Let's just face it, there's not as much hype as there should be when it comes to this universe. There's hype, but there should be more hype. Superman did its job, sure. Did its job, made $600 million plus in modern day. That's good. That's what it needed to do. And everything seemed like, okay, we're headed into the right direction. But yes, there was a little worry about Supergirl being the next movie. Maybe it shouldn't have been. Okay, and this is the problem. This is like one of the things that I commended Jimmy Guns on, but now I'm going, okay, maybe it's time to revert. Maybe it's time to, I see what you were trying to do, bud. You were trying to not be like Marvel Studios, which, yes, that's good. Try not to be like Marvel Studios. And you're going to try to do something different. You're not going to follow to a T the Marvel formula. Good. Don't do that. But then you start going, well, I'm going to have a series like this. We're going to have this character. We're going to have Supergirl be the second movie. That's where you start going, well, wait a minute. That's not what people are looking for. They're not looking for the second movie being Supergirl. They're looking for Batman or Wonder Woman or anything that's not Supergirl. Supergirl could be something, and it probably should have been something. That script that was based on Woman of Tomorrow maybe should have been converted into like a little mini series that got put on HBO Max. Honestly, probably would have done better if they would have saved that for down the road. You can still have Supergirl within the universe already there, but save that story for later on. Probably, in hindsight, probably should have done that, in my opinion. And now we got Comic-Con coming up, and yeah, thank God there's going to be some lanterns there to represent some things, and we will get some DCU things. But there needs to be a Man of Tomorrow representation there. There just needs to be. It just needs to happen. I mean, I've talked about Williams, Sci-Fi Center. He goes like, yeah, no matter what, whatever that costs, and of course, that's the excuse. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money. But it's like, how are you supposed to build up hype on a big stage, on Hall H? You know that Marvel's going to have they're going to have Doomsday and probably going to be teasing, you know, some Secret Wars stuff. But why not have Man of Tomorrow? Stop filming, get the entire cast, get them up on that stage. And if Adria Arjona is playing Wonder Woman, you announce it on that stage. If you are holding auditions for Batman, you announce it on that stage. You should be doing that. And I'm thinking that maybe Jimmy Guns wants to do that, but he can't because he, as much as he was saying like, oh no, we don't answer to everybody. Bullshit, dude. You know, you have to answer to the investors and Warner Brothers. Okay, so stop saying that online, please. We know that's bullshit. Stop saying that. But it's like, and I wouldn't be surprised if he would love to be on stage to introduce everybody and have like Hall H light up, show some shit, and then of course just have like, you know, introduce Batman. Who's going to be Batman? Who's going to be Wonder Woman? All this kind of thing. It would be magical. It'd be magical, and it would build up so much hype because there's a lot now. There's a lot more pressure on Man of Tomorrow. And yeah, it is kind of frustrating. It's like really just not gonna do that. Not gonna do anything. Not gonna do that. But at the same time, I'm like, what is Warner Brothers thinking? What is Paramount thinking? There's a lot of things that are, and again, it's just like can't just get out of the full-on mess. It seemed like things were looking good. Superman, people were liking it. People were talking about it. Fantastic Four didn't wipe it off the map. But then, you know, Supergirl comes out and it's like, oh, geez. Now people are like all doom and gloom and everything. I don't know. It's just all pretty crazy. And it's just, I think there should have been more representation at Comic-Con. I think you just got to do it. I think we're getting back into that mode of like, obviously, when he talks about the whole like announcing movie slates and stuff like that, that should be taken off the board. But at the same time, that's how you build up hype. Because what do I always say? Anytime they announce a slate, they put dates under the slate, or they just announce things, it never comes to fruition. It doesn't. That slate's not going to come to fruition. Now, when somebody snuck that picture of the DCU slate, or not really a slate, but what they were thinking about, their planning. It's like, is that actually, no, Authority's not happening, and is any of the rest of that going to be happening? Hopefully, but yeah, it's just, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but it's gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, you kind of start getting like a little frustrated, and it's like, what are you guys trying to build? What kind of hype are you trying to build up? And you have a perfect opportunity to build up Man of Tomorrow to be this big, huge, like Superman movie that's going to introduce other characters. And you have the stage to freaking be like, well, here we go. But now I just kind of wonder, I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But, what can you do? Anyways, you took your girlfriend to see Supergirl. We really liked it. Good. No, I'm glad you did. It's just, yeah, but it's bombing. It's bombing bad. Sad, but freaking true. Then we go over to Matt Reeves' Batverse. And yeah, guys, well, I mean, we've heard things, and I've even hinted at things that I heard, and hopefully you guys were paying attention, because then when things were starting to come out, I was like, yeah, guys, maybe not think that Sebastian Stan is playing Harvey Dent. Maybe not think that there's certain characters that we thought that person was playing and that person was playing. Yeah, maybe we should pump the brakes, and we might want to just be like, hey, well, let's just let Matt Reeves, as the kids say, cook. Now we got ScarJo, and apparently, according to Nexus Point News, and even, yes, Mr. Jeffrey Schneider, yes, he also said the same thing, where it was like, oh, yeah, it first came from him, and then it was starting, and as much as I don't want to give that guy credit, I just kind of go like, well, when other people are starting to say it too, it is kind of interesting, but this is coming from somebody from Nexus Point News. Off record, ScarJo might be Poison Ivy. What? Uh-oh. Yeah. So there's going to be a Poison Ivy representation in here. And apparently it would be like kind of like she'd be a character that is obsessed with plants and toxins and stuff, and she wants to take out the elite. That's what another description said from someone else. So yeah, there's a chance right there that ScarJo might be playing Poison Ivy, which some people even thought maybe she is at first if she was being looked at, because we know her from her red hair as Black Widow. So naturally it was going to be like that. So I don't know. Again, I'm not one of those. There's some people that are like, going, what the hell is Matt Reeves thinking? I'm going, hey, I wish I knew what Matt Reeves is thinking. I trust the guy. I trust the process. You know, let's face it. I think this movie's going to be... I mean, he did say the main villain is not going to be something that's been seen before on the big screen. And I'm thinking, okay, that main villain is the Court of Owls, because we haven't seen that in the big screen. But then if he's going to use Poison Ivy, got Victor Zsasz, you got Harvey Dent that might turn into Two-Face. We've seen all that. We've seen them before, but we haven't seen the Court of Owls. So it is going to be interesting when it all gets revealed. And guess what? You know, it would be a perfect stage to talk about this more. Comic-Con, Hall H. But then again, the Batman Part 2 is not coming out until October 1st, my birthday, of 2027. So they can bring the Batman Part 2 to next year's Comic-Con, which... that means I might have to fucking go to that one. I could have went to this one and I decided not to, but I said last year on the Vodka stream that maybe 2027 should be my year of going to conventions. So maybe I should, if DC Studios is going to have more representation and Hall H is going to have the Batman 2 as part of it, and things are looking okay, might have to attend. Because that would be a good spot to start talking about this more. It could talk about it a little bit right now, but I don't imagine they have a lot of things to talk about. They're starting to shoot. I don't know. See what happens. But there you go, guys. That was like a big thing right there where it was like, oh yeah, is ScarJo, is she actually playing Poison Ivy now? Not playing Gilda Dent, but possibly Pamela Isley. That's right. All right. That's pretty much all the DCU news. For now. I don't think there was anything else that came about. I don't think so. I think that was pretty much it. There wasn't anything new. Jeez. Well, we're going to talk about... let's now go over to the other studios. We have a 1 month different birthdays. Nice. Maybe she's a member of the Court of Owls. Yeah, I was kind of hearing that she might have been a female version of a certain character. I'll let you figure it out when it comes to that. Anyways, Avengers Doomsday and the X-Men. Well, okay, so there's plenty of this happening right now. Obviously, one of the big things that was talked about, and it actually happened, it got released because there was something happening in Shanghai, an event that Kevin Feige was at where they were talking about Avengers Doomsday, and then a certain piece of concept art got snapped, and then I don't know if somebody like just used AI to help fix it up and then post it, but apparently, you know, of course, this is the HD version of that concept art, and I will say that, I don't know, a lot of people kind of went, eh? I even kind of went, eh? I was like, this doesn't feel like the concept art from, like, I mean, the Endgame concept art was kind of cool. The Infinity War one was really cool. I remember the Age of Ultron concept art was really cool too. But this one just seems a little, I don't know. But yeah, you got Doom. You got Doom right here. Of course, you got Steve Rogers, black t-shirt man. He's holding the hammer, at least. But it's just so weird. It's just so weird. And then, of course, seeing the looks right here, obviously we got the OG X-Men crew, and you see what they look like. You're like, yep, the leaked pixelated blurry footage, yeah, like what John Campea and Robert Meyer Burnett said it was real. It probably is real. Yeah, and then you got the new Avengers right here, of course. You got Ant-Man just in the mix. You got Fantastic Four rocking their costumes from from Maxwell Lord. Apparently, they came from the DC universe. They're rocking those jackets and, Maxwell Lord, the Lord Tech. And then, of course, right here, Captain America Smallville. Yeah, right. Smallville edition. That's funny. And then, of course, you got new Captain America, Falcon. And then you got, what's his name? New Falcon. And you got Shang-Chi, which is cool. And then you got the Black Panther pair right there. Yeah, it's a lot of people are like, well, this kind of sucks. And then there's rumors that things aren't. There was like a rumor that came out that was, I saw that, just back to the rumors that there was a feud on set, which I wouldn't be surprised if there was a feud on set. There's a lot of actors in this. And then that they were saying like post-production hasn't been going well. By the way, the coolest thing about this concept art is the fact that Loki is like right in the middle. He's kind of hidden. He's like right in the middle because we all know where Loki is. If you watch Loki, the last season of Loki, he's there just trying to hold shit together. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, so there's that. But yeah, there's a lot of rumors and everything like that that there was a feud on set. Which I wouldn't be surprised. There's egos. Everybody has egos. God knows, Something probably could happen. There's a lot of fucking actors in there. Old school ones, new school. There's going to be something. There's shit like that's going to happen. God knows if that's true or not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But then the biggest thing is, and I think John Campea even said that he heard that the movie was a mess. Like there was too much, it's too convoluted because there's so many characters that it's not piecing together. Who knows if that's true, but he also said that he heard that from another source that it wasn't true. There's just all kinds of things right here. But then we have this, expect the trailer next week, folks. That's right. Well, first off, the Avengers Doomsday runtime has been revealed along with pre-order ticket info. Tickets go on sale July 20th, but it sounds as though only tickets for the new premium Infinity Vision. That's right, Infinity Vision. Because they don't have IMAX. Because Dune Part 3 and Warner Brothers said, fuck you, Kevin Feige. We ain't going anywhere. So then, of course, Marvel Studios and Disney had to make up their own little format called Premium Infinity Vision. And the movie's runtime is 165 minutes. 2 hours and 45, 2 hours and 46, according to THR. That's pretty long because it has to be. I would be okay if it was 3 hours, as long as it flowed well. Endgame was 3 hours. I thought Endgame flowed pretty well. But yeah, 2 hours and like 45, 46 minutes for that. And then, of course, yeah, so we're definitely going to be getting a trailer with that. That's just what they do. Tickets go on sale, you release a trailer, you release posters. That's all happening. But man, I don't know. It's just weird seeing Steve Rogers. Because you see Steve Rogers, as Steve Rogers, the way that he looks back then with his baby. And then all of a sudden, Steve Rogers is just wearing a black tee and some jeans with the long hair and the beard. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird, man. I don't know. It's just weird. And then, of course, we have rumored... this is coming from a scooper who I trust more than of course, Mr. Jeffrey Schneider. But, yeah, we got rumors that they have cast. Who knows? Or they're in talks. Who knows? When it comes to the two leads of the MCU X-Men movie. And I got two different posts right here. Patrick Wilson rumored to be up for the role of Professor X. Adam Driver has reportedly been cast as Magneto in the X-Men reboot film. What? More? So we got a rumored, and then we got a has-been. Patrick Wilson? That would be his fourth comic book movie? That guy is just, you want a comic book movie? You want him to play a character? Have him play a character. Seems like Patrick Wilson. I mean, that's the thing. He's had a really just nice career. He's been in a few franchises, but he probably doesn't get hounded on the street. He's probably lived a pretty good life. Good career, that Patrick Wilson. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I think he could probably rock a bald head, but the big thing was Adam Driver was definitely cast as Magneto, and it's kind of like, whoa, buddy, because okay, does Adam Driver really want to get back into the Disney machine? And then of course, naturally, people instantly, of course, all you got to do is just open up an AI and somebody's just going to make something, and there it is. Obviously, based on that certain look that we're seeing in the X-Men 97 animated series. And I don't know if they would actually do something like that where he'd have the long flowing white hair like that. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, people are already like making those. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. He plays a good bad guy. Hey, Kylo Ren was, for the most part, a good bad guy. I think there was time. I think in Force Awakens, he definitely was the best as a bad guy, as a villain. And I think he could pull it off. But I'm like, yeah, how are we feeling about that? Do we like Adam Driver as Magneto? Would that be a good choice? And then you have maybe possibly a Patrick Wilson playing Professor X. Do you think that they will have they would probably have good chemistry together? Like, are they going to show that, obviously, because that was always a good part of the Fox X-Men when it came to Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen. It was always nice to see their little back and forth. They had good chemistry for what they had. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I think I'll be all right. I think I'd be all right with Adam Driver playing Magneto. I think that, but it's just, I'm just like surprised after what he went through and trying to get a Ben Solo movie, and they turned him down. Of course, that was full on. That was mainly Lucasfilm. I mean, he's probably going to get a nice price tag for it. He's going to get a nice payoff for it. So why not? But I think he could. Yeah, I think he could pull off Magneto pretty well. I don't think he's actually Jewish, and I know people have problems with that. I don't think he's actually Jewish. Let's see. Is Adam Driver Jewish? No, he is not Jewish. He was raised in a household with a Baptist minister's stepfather and has English, German, Dutch, Irish, and Scottish ancestry. Yeah, so, but he's played Jewish characters because, yeah, he looks like he's Jewish. Isn't that funny? Like, he looks like he's Jewish. Should we go over the reasons why? No, we don't need to go over the reasons why he looks Jewish. We'll just leave that. Yeah, you bring up a good point there, Droga. Yeah, Adam Driver he wasn't just rumored. There was a scooper out there that flat out said that he was Reed Richards. And that was actually wrong. And that was, I think that was My Time to Shine. And I think My Time to Shine is also flat out saying that Adam Driver is Magneto. It's going to be really funny if that doesn't happen again. And can we just finally stop listening to some of these goddamn fucking scoopers, please? Adam Driver was also a Marine, and always cool to see him. Yeah. I forgot that he did that. I like Adam Driver. I like that one movie, that dinosaur movie. Where he like got crash landed on like a dinosaur planet, something AD or something like that. I actually thought that movie was decent. It was B-roll. But I thought it was decent. I like Adam Driver. Adam Driver's good. I was talking to one of my friends who she got into the Star Wars movies and series later. She basically, during COVID and then on was just got into Star Wars. She never got into Star Wars before. And we were even talking about, I forgot why we were talking about Adam Driver, but I was like, yeah, they should have, I was disappointed where they should have had a full movie of Ben Solo being good, because Ben Solo was essentially a Skywalker and Solo mashed together. I mean, you have like a Han Solo type who's also a Jedi. I mean, I thought that would have been a cool concept that they should have fucking did. But then again, there's a lot of things they should have fucking did in the sequel series that they didn't do. But anyways, yeah. There you go. So that's all the rumors and things that are happening in the Marvel space. Not too shabby. Anyways. Box office. Box office. Oops. Anyways. All right. Let's look at the box office. Moana That was the new one that came out. And it did win the box office, but not by a whole lot. Moana made 43.1 million. Not too shabby, I guess. But it made a little under 100. So, for a live action Disney movie, it was like they probably were hoping for a pretty strong opening, and coming in under 100 million. Yeah, they were probably like, oh shit. And, now we have Dwayne Johnson again going, oh shit. Yeah, it's like you're not pulling the box office numbers in, but were you actually doing it before Dwayne? I don't know, but yeah. So there was that. And then coming in second, we got Minions and Monsters. That's sitting at 281 million. Still, that one didn't actually do as well either. And then, of course, Toy Story 5 is going to hit $1 billion soon. 879.6. That one's just kicking ass. I mean, international loves Toy Story. And Evil Dead Burn, which is the movie, of course, I saw on Thursday. I did see Toy Story 5. But I think this is pretty decent for an opening for an Evil Dead movie. Seems like International also likes their horror movies as well. 40.7, and I heard that it was a $20 million budget. So it's already made, well, it hasn't made profit yet. Obviously, if you want to do the math, you times it by 3. So if it crosses 60 million, which it will, I think, it's going to start making profits. So I think it's going to be fine. They already got Evil Dead Wrath that's coming out. And then, of course, we got all the others. Obsession now is like the most profitable movie like ever made, I guess. I don't know. It's like this movie is just, it's now going to round up probably at like, they say like 450 million, but it's like one of the most profitable movies ever made. So pretty crazy to think about that. Then we got Supergirl. Yep, Supergirl is just, there's no legs. There is no freaking legs with Supergirl. It sits at 115.6. Man, I tell you. When it comes to Supergirl, I thought, hey, if it even gets close to 300 million, good job. But this thing, I mean, it's just bad release date. The marketing seemed like it was kind of there, but then, of course, you had all the anti-wokesters get all crazy with it. Which the anti-wokesters are going to have a little wake-up call this weekend because they think that the Odyssey is just going to fall flat, a flop. Oh, everything's propaganda. Anybody who praises the movie, they're full of shit. They're doing that. And they're going to have a wake-up call when the Odyssey actually does, has a successful opening. And it's like, yeah, it wasn't because of you guys. Just like you guys didn't you guys maybe had a hand in Snow White, sure. But I think Rachel Zegler really effed that one up, and Disney as a whole effed that up. When it comes to Supergirl, when I kept seeing these podcast hosts, these popular ones, saying that Supergirl was like, oh yeah, they were doing like the girl boss thing, and they're just trying to feed this. Oh wow, Kara's gay or Kara's bi. I'm like, nothing of that was in the fucking movie. That's what was so funny. I was like, guys, especially you anti-wokesters out there, you conservative side. James Gunn and crew cast a blonde girl with blue eyes, and they brought back this skirt. Like, what? There's literally they didn't hold back. There's literally a part where Kara drops pants and sits on the toilet. I mean, they were not trying to just, yeah, there's maybe some things, but at the same time, there's no girl boss thing in there or something like that. But I think the anti-wokesters went all way hard on this, and not even thinking the movie was, they were saying it was girl boss, and there was nothing, I didn't find anything girl boss about it. It was somebody who was struggling with trauma that didn't want to really be a hero, and she had to go through a journey and stuff like that. I just think the movie was cut down and paced badly, and the script needed to have another run through a little bit, but Mealy was great. Things were great about the movie, but I think the anti-wokesters out there are going to have a little wake-up call when the Odyssey actually does well at the box office. I'm not saying the Odyssey is going to do $1 billion, but it's going to do money. And of course, they've been going crazy with that one when it's it's only just because of casting choices, and it's so friggin' annoying. It's just annoying. It's annoying when you have both sides. You have the people over here that try to find sexism and racism and misogyny and everything, and then you got this side over here that's trying to find wokeisms and woke and all the stuff. It's like you guys are just like acting the same now. It's like, meanwhile, a lot of us in the middle are just going, can you guys just shut the fuck up? Can I enjoy a movie? Can I just enjoy a movie? That's what I kind of feel like. I'm like, can I just enjoy a movie? Is it okay? I posted, last week when I talked about the internet reactions to the Odyssey. Remember I did a segment on that because that evening, the press and critics were posting their internet reactions. I posted that clip on TikTok. It started blowing up a little bit on TikTok. And of course I get people in the comments saying that I'm being paid. I'm being paid to post propaganda. That's right, guys. That's what's happening in my TikTok today, is I'm being paid to shill the movie. And so, yeah. And people are like, it's going to flop, fail, But yeah, I'm being paid, guys, to shill the Odyssey. Jesus Christ. I wish I was. Anytime I get like these fucking weirdos coming at me saying I'm being paid to shill something, I wish. It'd be nice to have some extra money in the bank. No, I mean, I've been offered to get sponsored with like certain things. If I don't want to, if I don't think the product is good, most of it's bullshit and some of it's just like, scammers out there. You got to be careful of that shit. But I've been approached to be like, hey, would you be willing to do an ad for this and be like part of a sponsorship for this? And I look at the product and I'm like, I wouldn't use that. So I'm not going to fucking do that. I would not if a studio was like, here's a bunch of money, can you just post like 10 fucking clips of you just shilling it? I'm like, oh, no, I have to see the movie first. I would have to see the movie first. You'd have to let me see the movie, and then if I liked it, then I would do it. Okay, but I'm not going to just be like, oh, just because you're like, then this is what happens in the space. That these guys, they get sent fucking merchandise or they get paid to shill a movie. I would not fucking do that. I'm like, no, show me the movie first, send over or let me go see it, then I'll think about it. Anyways. That's my little spiel over with. All right, no more box office. Let's talk about this right here because obviously this is on everybody's minds when it comes to the Paramount and Warner Brothers. Oh, so we got a whole new thing that's happening right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen because this space right here and everything that's going on when it comes to this, it's all pretty crazy. But we have a new article right here that was being passed around. It's just called Semaphore that people were passing around. Exclusivo! Paramount weighs leaving California over Warner Brothers rift. Another company leaving California because California is just falling into the Pacific Ocean. I tell you guys, I love this state. I was talking to my friends over the 4th of July how much we love the state just because of the weather, of the fact that you can drive 30 minutes, 40 minutes one way and hit the mountains, 30 minutes, 40 minutes the other way and hit the ocean. You got wine country, you got desert, you got everything in California. It just sucks because it's so goddamn poorly ran. And then, you drive into LA and it looks like a third world country. It's like, it's crazy how much LA's got destroyed. But yeah, the scoop. As California tries to derail Paramount's $110 billion takeover Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount CEO David Ellison's friends and advisors have been pushing the media executive to consider shifting his business out of the state. Probably go to Texas or Florida, right? Ellison's confidants have pushed him to consider moving its corporate headquarters, relocating much of its $30 billion in planned spending outside of the state of California. Attorney General Rob Bonta were to sue to stop the merger, according to people familiar with the discussions. No decisions have been made, these people said, and the considerations may just be a show of brinkmanship, given so much of the industry's production takes place outside of Hollywood already. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Under the current deal, Paramount has committed to keeping both companies' lots operational if it remains in California. But Paramount would not be the first major company to decamp from California in recent years due to tussles with state regulators. Chevron relocated, and of course, Oracle, Tesla, all that stuff. Yeah, there's all this stuff and everything. But then, of course, they talk about there might be a blockage of all the things. You got the states that are trying to block it. There's more antitrust hearings that are happening. But the big thing is like, it's just like now they're like thinking like, oh yeah, if we're going to make this thing happen, we might have to get out of California. That might be the thing. So if Paramount and Warner Brothers were to leave California, Jesus Christ. You got Disney left. You got a couple, you get a couple other ones left. Universal's still here, but I mean, my God, man, that'd be devastating. That'd be devastating. It just shows you how bad it's gotten here, and it's been like this for like the past 20 years. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Where you literally have to. Oh yeah, like Breaking Bad was supposed to take place in Riverside, California. That's originally it was written to take place in Riverside, California, but the fact of the matter is it was going to cost too much to film there, so then they relocated to Albuquerque, and they made it for like a third of the budget. It's like, I don't know what needs to happen in California, but it needs to happen pretty quickly. It doesn't seem like the politicians are going to change their ways. It seems like almost sometimes they want California to just sink into the Pacific Ocean. Sometimes I think that. I don't know. I'm always hoping like, hey, when there's an election, maybe something will happen. Who knows? We're coming up to those right now. But who knows if anything's going to actually happen. But like I said, I've told you guys time and time again, I don't like driving into Los Angeles because first off, it's always traffic, no matter what time of day. And then when you drive in there, it's just tense cities. Like every overpass, everything, tense. And you don't want to walk around. Not in all the parts. There's still some parts that are kept preserved that are nice and everything like that. But it's ugly, man. Anyway, sorry. But there you go. That was the latest when it comes to that they were actually thinking about relocating. The company last year signed a lease in New Jersey. Nearly 300,000 square feet of studio space could expand operations. So they're thinking about Jersey? That's crazy. For this part, Ellison remains wary of the idea of leaving California. Some of the people said he relocated Paramount's corporate headquarters from New York to Los Angeles after his original deal to purchase the company closed last year and has spent most of his life in California. So yeah, he probably won't do it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, something needs to, I mean, it just seems like, and like I said, I was talking to my friends about how California is, but it's in talking about how expensive things are and how crazy it can be here, but you can't beat the weather. You just can't. I mean, even today we had a little rain, we had a little mugginess, but it's nothing like it is on the East Coast with the way that the humidity is over there and how sweltering it gets. Like it's I don't know, it's still nice. And yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, enough of that. Now, I think that's it. Let's go to some Twitter questions. Only got a couple Twitter questions right here. So we got Mr. Droga, Axel. Yo, Dave, this roster of characters is a bit underwhelming. It really needs Storm, Captain Marvel, War Machine, Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Well, you never know. They might show up. I mean, they definitely might show up, but yeah. It just seems like the whole movie is underwhelming right now. I don't know. Eric Blake, hey Dave, didn't Tom Cruise say something about wanting to do a space sci-fi after ending? Yeah, he actually wanted to go to space, but I don't think they're going to I don't think there's an insurance policy big enough to let Tom Cruise go to space. I don't think Scientology is that strong anymore. I don't think Scientology is that as strong as it used to be. I don't think they have the funding to pay for the insurance policy to allow Tom Cruise to actually film in space. But who knows? Maybe something will happen. I don't know. Devin Wooter, hey Dave, do you think Sony needs to stop spoiling Spider-Man versus Hulk? Yeah, they need to stop releasing clips and TV spots, but, you know, I get it, though. With these movies, you want to make sure. But it's like they don't need to do it because look at the pre-sale numbers. This movie is probably going to make $1 billion, or at least close. This might, you never know. Spider-Man Brand New Day might do better than Avengers Doomsday. There is a chance that Spider-Man Brand New Day might do better than Avengers Doomsday. TV spots now getting ridiculous. Do you think Marvel should be worried about Avengers Doomsday box office? I don't think they should worry about the box office. It's still going to do better. It's going to do better than Doom Part 3. And Dave, I think you are the best YouTuber. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Devin. Appreciate you. Always appreciate your questions and seeing you in the chat. Much appreciated, sir. Cooper Knox, after watching the Digger trailer on repeat many times today, Tom Cruise is easily going to bag that Oscar. Yeah, he's definitely going for it. He's definitely going for that Oscar. And I think he's going to probably get at least a nomination. At least a nomination. What movies have made $1 billion this year? Michael just made $1 billion. Michael just crossed $1 billion. I think that's the only movie that's done $1 billion this year. Let's see, what movies have made I think maybe Mario Galaxy? Did that come close? What movies have made $1 billion in 2026? Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy and Michael. That's the only two movies that have made $1 billion. But Spider-Man definitely has a chance. I don't think the Odyssey is going to, but I think the Odyssey is going to do very well. And like I said, it's going to be a little wake-up call for the wokesters, anti-wokesters. Isn't that kind of funny? A wake-up call for the anti-wokesters. But yeah, just those two movies, Michael and Mario Galaxy. But I think Spider-Man might be the third one to cross $1 billion. Wouldn't be surprised. And Avengers Doomsday, it probably will. It's not going to make $2 billion, I don't think, but I don't think Dune will, because Dune is just it's not everybody's bag. And I think Dune will do decent, but it won't make $1 billion. I can't see any other movie making $1 billion. Oh no, Toy Story probably will. Toy Story is on its way too. So Toy Story will be the third one to make $1 billion. Spider-Man might make $1 billion. I think it's going to make $1 billion, and I think Avengers Doomsday will make $1 billion. I think that's going to round up like the 5. There's going to be 5 movies that cross $1 billion. And none of them is going to be from Warner or DC Studios. Just kidding. I mean, of course, nobody thought Supergirl was going to make $1 billion. Nobody's thinking that Clayface is going to make $1 billion. So I think Clayface has potential to be like profitable, at least with that small budget, at least. You know, it's just, again, you know, my whole spiel about I think there should have been a presence for DC Studios and Man of Tomorrow at Comic-Con, because you have to invest in your movie if you want to get that return. And right now the hype is kind of low when it comes to the DCU, and there's worrisome, you know, there's definitely worrisome. So that's pretty much it, guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream right here. Good times as always, guys. Hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe if you would be so kind. If you want to support the channel on the Patreon, like I said, you get all the videos early, no ads, no nothing. On the Patreon, I post right there. I post a post show, and I had posted about a 45-minute podcast where I'm just rambling about all kinds of nonsense just by myself. It's always fun, therapeutic. So if you want to check out that as well, that's the added stuff on the Patreon. And of course, you got the members only Film Junkie Live on Wednesday. So I'll see you members on Wednesday, unless something crazy big happens. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But appreciate it, a lot of you. Thank you for joining, my friend. Appreciate you too, Darren, Mr. Laugh Now, Cry Later. I think the Batman Part 2 will make $1 billion. I hope so. I hope that Man of Tomorrow and the Batman Part 2 come close at least to $1 billion. Because DC Studios really needs that. For freaking sure. All right, guys. Love ya. You got an ad? Oh, was ads playing again during this thing? I'm sorry about that. I don't know. YouTube keeps on changing their shit. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways, guys, love ya. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good Tuesday. I'll see you members on Wednesday. No DC Fanimated this week, but we'll still have a members only Film Junkie live. Love ya. Talk to you later.